How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about MMAT metamaterials, which ended up showing some strength today. So I had to make sure I give you guys an update. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, then I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance. We know it's gained a lot of momentum as of late, but hey, if we end up getting a healthy pullback, where are some areas we want to see it hold up, and also as far as moves to the upside, where it could potentially go. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. Does it continue to have short squeeze potential? Are institutions loading up on shares? We're going to find out. And then we're going to be seeing the order flow distribution, where institutions actually buying shares today. We can see this from the large scale orders, and we're going to find that out as well. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for MMAT metamaterials. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $4.42, being up 7.02%. On the low, it tested $4.27, and then on the high, testing $5.79. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 82.523 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 21.431 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some appreciation in the stock price. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the 1 year daily chart, you can see down below the RSI is around 58.54. And then now when we take a look at our moving averages here, we have strength above the 21-day EMA. We are also above the 200-day, but we are below the 100-day where it's at $4.96. And we ended up closing the day at $4.42. Do keep in mind we have been on quite the run, and we are continuing to do that since we did have a green day. One of the things we need to look out for, are we going to be able to hold up support here in this 430 level? So that's one thing we want to keep an eye on. If 430 does decide to ever end up breaking, as you can see here, we want to see some strength here around this 424 level. We did test 427 on the day, and we were able to actually have some strength off of that, so that was good to see. So going into tomorrow, we want to see some strength hold up around that 420, and if that area does break, then we want to see us hold up at the 200-day being above $4, which you could see is at around $3.99. So as long as we could hold that area, then of course you could be able to actually make those moves and make that push up, so we can get back to surpassing the 100-day and getting back into the fives where we were, like you saw earlier today, where we ended up reaching a high of $5.79. So $6 is definitely still in the window here, but like I said, it needs to hold up these key areas, especially in that mid $4 range. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for metamaterials. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So you can see for the 30th here, we have Vanguard Variable Insurance Funds that went in with 18,927 shares. And then we also have Bridge Builder Small Mid Cap Growth Fund that went in with 22,660 shares. And all the other ones we've already covered already, but that's also good to see as far as the recent filings. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 150,000, updated 20 minutes ago, and for the short ball fee rate being at 2.16%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 25th, it was at 22.36, and then for the close for the 26th, it was at 19.54, and then the close for the 27th on the Friday was at 27.78. So it definitely went up quite a bit from the 26. So with that said, it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening. But one thing that still continues, yes, we do have short squeeze potential in metamaterials, and it's part of the reasons why if we end up seeing a lot of buying pressure coming into the stock, we can look forward to seeing some strong moves to the upside. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for metamaterials. So we can see here on the inflow side, it was at 88.90, and then on the outflow side, it was at 91.59. Now, when we take a look at the large side for the inflow, it was 0. On the medium, it was at 49.15, and then on the small, it was at 39.75. Now, when we take a look at the outflow side on the medium, it was at 54.49, and then on the small, we had 36.70. So again, this is very similar to the OCGN numbers that we are looking at. You can see here as far as for the small scale orders, yes, as far as on the retail side, there was a lot of purchasing of shares. We had a surplus. But when we take a look at the medium, we could easily see here there was some profit taking. Yes, institutions could be getting involved with that, but we could also see that with traders. So just taking all this into consideration, and due to the fact that the volume wasn't super high and we still ended up being green on the day, being up 7%, despite the fact that it was an outflow day, that pretty much explains it to you. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the 30th, yes, we ended up having an outflow day. So having an outflow today, again, it wasn't really that big of a difference, because as you can see, and like what I just explained, yes, there's many people who are holding shares, but we have more purchasing going on the retail side. So again, there's a lot to look forward to here, and it's part of the reasons why I can see this momentum actually continuing. And if it does decide to pull back at any point, I think it would be healthy and it should continue its run up from there. But again, this is pending on anything that's going on outside of the market itself, like interest rates and so on. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll share some more details. So for my final thoughts for metamaterials, one of the key levels I'm looking out for is around $4.26. We want to be able to hold this area, have some strength there if we do decide to pull back. And of course, if we're able to hold this area, then I can see a further move to the upside. If we decide to pull back even more, of course, I want to see some strength right at that $4 level, because that is a psychological area there. If you've noticed already, once it got to 4, it could really gain momentum, and it's part of the reasons why I look at it as psychological. If we end up getting below that and we're in that $3 range, that's where people start saying, well, you know what, I'm going to start taking some profits, or that's going to be running through their minds. And then of course, that's when we end up getting more pressure, and then also shorts getting involved. But I do believe we should be able to hold up $4. I'm going to be looking forward to that. Now, as far as when we went on Fintel, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is part of the reasons why, as long as people are buying shares and there's volume coming through the stock, and as well as holding shares, then it's definitely going to work well in metamaterials favor. So that's one thing to understand, and why I say do your homework, do your due diligence, and see how that stock performs. And then on top of that, making sure you have a strategy that is right for you and good for your overall mental health. I want to make sure I really emphasize this. You shouldn't be sitting down being worried and feeling all type of different emotions and so on. I know it is your hard-earned money, but I feel like if you're going to be taking a position in any stock whatsoever, you should be confident before you even push that buy button. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.